All right. Sandra?
Thanks, John. Let's bring in Florida Congressman Byron Donalds. Thanks for jumping on with us. There you are, live in the halls where we just heard from Kevin McCarthy a few moments ago, as Jim Jordan has not gotten the votes on the first round, Congressman. McCarthy is saying, I think the difference here is we have rules, so we could sit down and talk to the other members and be able to move forward. What is going to happen so your party can move forward?
Well, I'll tell you, I agree with Kevin McCarthy. I think that what we should do right now is recess for a little bit, give Jim Jordan an opportunity to talk to these members who have voted for other people, and then let's see where we go from there. Look, I think us coming together and finding a speaker and electing that person is very, very possible. I support Jim Jordan. That is the place I'm going to remain. But we need to make sure that we give him the opportunity to bring those votes together. I think he can do that. What
should people take away from what they've been witnessing happening there with the members on Capitol Hill?
Well, look, even when I said this back in January, this place is not what it used to be. The business as usual in Washington is not the state of play anymore. Members are going to make these individual decisions for themselves. I actually encourage them to make these decisions. But now I believe is a time for the members to unite around Jim Jordan so we can get back to the business up here on Capitol Hill. But for people to think that leadership by acclamation is going to be the state of play going forward, it's simply not going to be the case in Washington anymore.
Congressman, can you break any news here? Are you hearing from any of those members who did not throw their support behind Jim Jordan, if they might do so a second time around?
Well, look, I'm not going to break news. I have talked to one member. I'm going to probably talk to a few more. Those are conversations I need to keep private out of respect to those members in their positions. My only ask of them is that they make the decision to change their vote, support Jim Jordan so we can get back to work and govern this country. Because there is no governance coming out of the White House. We see what's going on over there, and it's no leadership whatsoever. House Republicans are going to have to lead this nation right now.
What do you know about what's happening right now? The House has gone into recess. Is there going to be a second vote here soon?
I believe there's going to be another vote today. I don't know that for sure, but the decision was made to go into recess to give Speaker-designate Jordan the opportunity to go and basically talk to these members and bring them to his side. He needs to have the opportunity to do that. I'm glad that we recessed so he can make that happen.
Have you had a chance to talk to him since this vote concluded?
Very, very briefly. But look, I know that Jim is going to be doing what he needs to do, talking to these members. So having a conversation with me right now doesn't really help. I'd rather he go talk to these members and try to get them to come to his side.
What are you urging for him for the cell?
This, for me, is very simple. We have an opportunity to go back to work, finish our appropriations process, and then continue the hard work of allowing this to be a member-driven process. Like I said, the days of just leadership telling the members what's going to happen on the day that you have to vote, I think those days are over. That is a good thing for the country. But is it going to be this seamless line of decision-making, which, by the way, has led us to $33 trillion in debt? No, I don't think that's going to be the case. It's going to be messy at times, but we have to do this hard work if we're going to get America back on track.
Well, we did see more than a dozen Republicans vote for other options, Kevin McCarthy, Steve Scalise. I suppose that behind closed doors, Steve Scalise could be out there pushing those who voted for him to vote for Jordan. That could be happening, right?
Well, and also be clear, Leader Scalise also voted for Jim Jordan on the floor. And as I understand it, Leader Scalise has been imploring his people who have supported him to vote for Jim Jordan. The same thing with Kevin McCarthy. And so I think that right now we're going to go and, frankly, handle this in a lot of different conference rooms, a lot of different phone conversations. I fully expect that Kevin McCarthy and Leader Scalise are going to be involved in that in some way, shape, or form, and that we're going to be able to leave town with the Speaker of the House and then go do the work that we must do.
Real quick question before you go. As Axios heading into all this was talking about the pressure campaign that had building to vote for Jim Jordan. Some were anonymously telling sources that they were getting bullied into vote. Was any of that a turnoff for some of these members?
I believe it was. I've talked to a couple of members where they felt that that's just not what they needed. I don't think that's what we should be doing right now. And listen, for all of the voters in our country, I think it's important for members to hear your voice, and I totally respect that. But I think that there are members up here who they want to be able to make this decision on leadership and then move forward. I think some of the pressure campaigns have backfired. They have not worked. And so I think that right now, under the leadership of Jim Jordan, I would request that people just take a break, take a pause, let the members work and figure this out amongst ourselves so we can elect Jim Jordan as Speaker, and then we can get back to the work that we have to do.
All right, well, our camera's up, and if there's any further updates, jump on in there, let us know how it's going, and we will see when that second ballot happens. Thank you so much for joining us, Congressman.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, John.